anybody to come and then be really disappointed because I didn't play the songs that I wrote that they wanted to hear. But I found most times that they don't really care. I don't mean, that's not a sad thing. I like singing together, and so as long as you're cool with it, then that's what we're going to keep on doing. Come now, fount of every blessing, to my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues of love. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of thy redeeming love. Here I raise my Ebenezer, hither by thy help I've come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. 'Cause Jesus on me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God, he to rescue me from danger interposed his precious blood. Oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. So let thy goodness, like a fetter, bind my wandering heart to thee. So I'm prone to wander, Lord, I feel it, prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy courts above. As I was so graciously introduced to you this evening, he talked about the fact that I like to cook. That may seem strange to you, but I never knew that I could. I was a musician. If you don't know lots of musicians, we're not really known for being responsible or domestic. We're known for eating pizza on a tour bus late night as we're pulling out of town. But God made each of us just the way He wanted to, so we would most enjoy Him and see Him for who He is. And sometimes we understand that, and sometimes we don't. And so I got married about 5 years ago now. And my wife is a great cook. And one day she just says, "Why can't you cook?" And I was like, "Because I don't know how." "Why can't you play professional football?" "You don't have the ability." I don't know how. Nobody ever taught me how to cook. I don't know anything about cooking. She goes, "You should be able to cook." I said, No, you shouldn't. You're not just able to cook. That's not something you can just do without knowing what you're doing. They don't give you a bat and stick you in a Major League Baseball game and think you're going to hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I'm going to dive screaming out of the way. That's just what's going to happen. I don't know how to do it, and I don't know how to cook. She goes, "Yeah, but you know food. You like food." I said, "You got me there. I can't argue with that." She goes, Todd, we can go to a restaurant and you can read a 20-page menu and pick the very best thing they make. I'm like, I've eaten out a lot. I've got a lot of experience. She goes, no, but you should be able to cook. So she started investing in that side of me. And you know what? She was right. She's only known me for like 7 years, and at that point in time she'd known me for about 4, and I'd known myself for about 40. But she looked at me and saw a joy that God had placed in me that I did not know. And so right now I'm reading a cookbook, because I do those kind of things now. But it's a really amazing book by a very godly man. It's called The Supper of the Lamb. And in it, he talks about looking at a cut of meat and seeing all the potential that it could be. That you could cut it so many different ways, and you could cook it so many different ways, and it would bring such joy to your life in all these different ways. And he said, that's just one leg of one lamb that God created. How much more infinite pleasure is there to be found in Him? And yet most of the time we don't look at Him as the fountain of every blessing. We look at Him at one aspect of Him, or we don't pay attention to Him at all. But I must confess that this song is true for me because I am prone to wander. Because I forget what it tastes like to taste of the fullness of God. But when I taste, I remember that this is the God that I love. And I don't know where you are tonight. Well, I know where you are. I don't know where you are spiritually in your relationship with God tonight. But I can guarantee you that He has infinite goodness for you to partake of. And you can choose whether or not to. But oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. So let Thy goodness like a fetter bind my wandering heart to Thee. As I was reading this book this afternoon, he talked about how you can take this one cut of meat and put it in there, and then you can cook it all these different ways. And you know what I thought immediately? I don't have time to do that. I don't have time for that. I need somebody to give me a microwave cookbook. I got 2 kids, and I'm thousands of miles away from home right now, trying to do my job. I don't have time to sit there and try, oh, I wonder what this stew would taste like if I put marjoram in it. I don't even know what marjoram tastes like. I just know that it's still in the pantry. Probably because one time I needed it for a recipe, so I went out and bought some, not knowing what it did to that recipe. But then my first immediate thought was, I do not have time for that kind of pleasure. To sit there and try all these, to cook one stewed meat with rosemary, and then to start over a 3-hour, 4-hour process to see what it tastes like with thyme. Let's put curry in it and find out what happens. And see, some of our older kitchen ladies just went, oh no. No, that's not going to work out well. Because they know what it tastes like, but I don't. There's not even infinite goodness in a stew. But there's a lot of possibilities that I don't have time for. And as I sing this, let Thy goodness be a fetter to bind my wandering heart to Thee, that's what I think about. God, most of the time I don't have time for you. So in your goodness, could you find something that would chain me to you so I have no option but to partake of who you are? That you can show me goodness after goodness after goodness. That's just where I am tonight. So, oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. So let thy goodness, like a feather, bind my wandering heart to thee. I'm prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy courts above. Yes, here's my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy courts above. The splendor of the King, clothed in majesty, let all the earth rejoice, all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, darkness tries to hide, trembles at his voice, trembles at his voice. And how great is our God? Sing me, how great is our God? Oh, sing how great is our God. You're the name above all names, worthy of praise. And my heart will sing how great is our God. The name above all names, you're the name above all names, worthy of praise. And my heart will sing how great is our God. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? And all will see how great is our God. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now of His goodness. Somewhere we get to sit and stay. So let us look forward to that. When we've been there 10,000 years, righteous